you want to transform your idea of building a multi-vendor hotel booking platform like booking.com or Make My Trip, then this video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Deeksha, and in this video, I'm going to introduce you to QloApps Marketplace Addon. With QloApps Marketplace Addon, you can easily create a marketplace of hotel and ace your B2B hotel business without any developer's help. With QloApps Marketplace Addon, you can transform your QloApps website into a marketplace of hotel, and your sellers can easily list and register their hotels on your marketplace, and you will earn commission on every booking they receive through your marketplace. As the admin, you will have the authority to manage your marketplace and its various aspects such as your seller, their profile, their hotels, room types, additional facility, refunds, and much more. Also, your sellers will be given various tabs in their own account through which they can list and manage their property and their bookings seamlessly. But before getting started, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive the latest updates. Now let's start the video and explore the various features of QloApps Marketplace for both admin as well as seller. So once you will install the QloApps Marketplace add-on in QloApps, a new tab called Marketplace will be added in the menu bar of QloApps. Now let's see how admin can configure and manage its marketplace from the backend. So as you can see, in the marketplace there are various tabs, configuration, seller profile, etc., through which the admin can manage its marketplace. So let's see the functionality of each tab one by one. So let's first see the functionality of configuration. Under the configuration, you can see there are three subsections: manage general settings, manage approval settings, and manage payment modes. Let's first see the general settings of the marketplace. Under the general settings, you can add the admin email ID in which you will receive and send the various emails in your marketplace. After which, you can see the option of marketplace multi-language. From this option, you can manage that whether you want your seller to use single language or multiple language. If you select no in the marketplace multi-language, in that case, you can select the default language. So you can either select your default language, that is your QloApps default language to be used in the marketplace, or else you can also change and select the seller default language. Once you select the seller default language, then the language of the seller will be used in the marketplace. Next comes the option of terms and conditions CMS page. From this option, when the seller registers itself at your marketplace, at that time he sees a terms and condition option, on which when he clicks, you can decide that on which page he will be redirected through this option. After this comes the mail configuration settings. So from the mail configuration section, you can manage the various mails which you can send and receive as an admin to your seller for various approvals, deletion, updation, and various other settings which will be changed in your marketplace regarding the seller, their profiles, their hotels, their room types, additional facility, refunds, and much more. So whenever there will be any change or there will be any approval or deletion or any other thing that will happen in your marketplace, you can send and receive emails by configuring their mail through this setting. Next comes the allow order status to seller option. Using this option, you can allow your sellers to change their order status. If you enable your sellers to change their order status, then you can also allow your sellers to edit their orders by selecting yes on seller can edit his order option. You can also enable your seller to choose from a variety of order status by enabling the checkbox of these order status here from this section. Now let's move further and see the manage approval settings. In this manage approval settings section, you can manage and give permissions or allow the auto approval of the various changes which will be made from the seller's end. So let's say a seller is making any change in their hotel or their room types, additional facility, refund rules, or in case when the seller first registers at your marketplace, then in that case, do you want the seller to directly start using your marketplace and list his hotel, or do you want to first approve his hotel and then it should be listed on your marketplace? All such approvals can be managed from the manage approval settings. From here, you can manage the approval of seller profile, their hotels, their room types, additional facility, and refunds. Next comes the manage payment section. From the Manage Payment Mode section, you will be able to add the various payment modes in which you can split the commission and their payment of your sellers to their account. So to add a new payment mode, all you have to do is click on add payment mode and add the payment mode which you want to insert in your marketplace. This was about the configuration of the marketplace by the admin. Now let's see how admin can add a new seller from the backend in his marketplace. To add a seller in the marketplace, you have to first register that seller as a customer. You can do that easily under the customer section. So click on the customers and then click on add new customers. Enter the basic details of the customer such as their first name, last name, email ID, password, etc. and then save. Once you will create a customer, then you have to again go to the marketplace and then click on seller profiles. And as you can see in the seller's profile, a list of all the added sellers is already visible, along with their ID customer, the customer name, the seller name, the business, the hotel chain name, profile name, the phone number, registration and the status. To add a new seller, you can click on add new seller. And in this section, you have to choose the customer. So the customer which you have created, you have to select here and then enter the information of the hotel name, the first name, the last name, etc. and then add the payment mode with which you want to pay this seller. And then save the details, and this is how you can add a new seller profile in your marketplace. To activate or deactivate a seller profile, you can see the status option in the list. Once you click on right tick, it will enable the seller. If you will click on cross, then you will disable the seller. Now let's see how you can add the seller hotel. You can add the seller hotel from the seller hotel section. To add a new hotel, you have to click on add new hotel. To edit the already existing hotels, you have to click on edit option. A list of all the hotels which are available in your marketplace can be displayed here. Let's see how you can add a new hotel. So to add a hotel, you have to fill in all the information such as information section, images section, restrictions, features of the hotel and the refund policies. To enable the refund for that particular hotel, you have to select yes on the enable refund and then you have to select the refund rule which will be applied in that hotel. And this is how you can create a new hotel in your marketplace from the backend for the particular seller. Now let's see how you can add the room types for the seller. You can do that under the seller room type section. To add a new room type, you have to click on add new room type. And you have to first choose the seller for which you are creating that room type. Once you will choose the seller, then you have to add the basic details of the room type such as the information, the images, the price, the rooms, the occupancy, the features, SEO and additional facilities. And after that, click on save. Once you will add all the details and click on save, then the new room type will be added for that seller. Now let's see how you can add the refund rules for the seller. The already existing refund rules will be displayed in the list, and to add a new refund rule, you have to click on add new rule and add the all basic details of the refund rule such as the name of the refund rule, a brief description, the deduction type, value and the days before cancellation detail, and then save. And this is how you can create refund rule for your sellers. Now comes the option of seller additional facility. So from seller additional facility section, you can create additional facilities for your seller hotel and the room types. To create a new additional facility, you have to click on add new facility and then add the details of that additional facility. For instance, I want to provide breakfast facility, so I'll add the facility name as breakfast and add the option of advance price and then add the price and tax rule and accordingly save the data. And this is how you can create the additional facility for your seller hotel room types. Now comes the most important part, that is the commission rates. So as the admin of marketplace, this is very important for you to manage your commission rates. You can either select a global commission, that is you have to enter a global commission rate, that at what rate do you want any particular seller to share their amount of booking with you and what amount of commission you want to receive for that booking. If you want to get the commission seller wise, that is if you have two different hotels, one is medium enterprise and one is high enterprise, then you can select seller-wise commission as well by creating seller-wise commission rule. To add a new seller-wise commission, you have to click on Add Admin Commission. And once you click on Add Admin Commission, you have to select the seller for which you are creating this commission rule, and then select your percentage of admin commission and then click on Save. Once you click on Save, the new rule for you will be created as per your seller. So this is how you can set admin commission seller-wise. You can also select the tax distribution, that when the tax is applied on that particular booking, that who will receive that tax. Whether you want to distribute that tax between seller and admin, or you want yourself to keep that tax amount, or you want to share and provide it to the seller, you can manage that under the tax distribution section. This is how you can use the commission rate section and configure the commission rate of your marketplace. Next comes the option of seller orders. In the seller order section, you can see the total earnings of your seller, your marketplace, your admin commission, your admin tax, your seller earning, your seller's received amount, your seller's due amount, and every other detail. You can also see the seller orders and a list of all the orders received by the seller by clicking on View Orders. So once you click on View Orders, you can see the list of all the orders received by particular sellers of your marketplace. Once you click on View Order Details, all the details of the order will be visible to you, and you can also update the status of the payment as well as the order. You can also change the payment and add the payment methods. You can also add discounts, add rooms in the order, and edit the order from the marketplace backend. Now let's see how you can settle the payment, that is how you can settle the amount of the booking between seller and admin. You can easily do that under the seller's order section. Click on View Statements, and from here you will be able to see that what is the seller's due amount and what is the settlement amount and how much the seller has earned and received. To settle the amount, you have to click on Settle Amount button and enter the details of the amount, such as the transaction ID, the payment method, the amount that you want to settle, and click on Pay. And once you click on Pay, so let's say I have to settle 1000 rupees and I'll click on Pay. The amount will be transferred by the selected payment mode by the seller into his account, and the seller will receive that amount and the amount will be settled from your end. So this is how you will be able to settle the amount you will receive from the bookings of the seller through the settle amount option. One more interesting feature of the marketplace is, under the seller's profile option, you will be able to see the details and the complete overview of the seller by clicking on the View option. Once you click on the View option, as you can see on this page, you will be able to see all the basic information of the hotel and the seller, their total bookings, their hotels, their cancellation request, and their room types from the seller. So this is how you can configure and add new sellers in the marketplace. Now we are going to discuss the features and how sellers can register themselves on your marketplace from the front end. Sellers can easily register on your marketplace from the front end, that is from your website. All they have to do is first create a customer account. So once they will create their customer account by adding their email ID first and then adding their basic details. So after they will register as a customer, they have to request admin to add them as a seller. So how can they request? They have to click on List Your Hotel, and once they click on List Your Hotel, a form will appear in which they have to add their hotel chain name, their first name, their last name, business email ID, etc. And then they have to click on Register. Once they will click on Register, an approval request will be shared with the admin. If the admin has allowed auto approval, in that case the seller will directly be able to register itself as a seller. If the admin has allowed that only sellers who have been approved by the admin should be visible on the marketplace, in that case, when the seller will approve that request of the seller will be notified that his request has been approved by the admin, and that is how he will be able to see all the portals and the tabs that will be displayed as a seller. So after the admin has approved the request of the seller will be able to see all the tabs of the seller portal in the back office by clicking on Account section. So once you click on Account section, Under the account section, as you can see, a Your Hotel section will be added, and in this, various tabs of the seller portal are displayed, such as dashboard, booking calendar, edit profile, hotels, room types, order, payment mode, additional facility and refund rules. So all these tabs can be used by the seller to manage and receive bookings seamlessly in the marketplace. So let's explore all these tabs one by one and see how the seller can manage his property as well as all the bookings received from the marketplace. Let's first explore the dashboard. In the dashboard, the seller can view all the statistics and the performance of his particular room types and hotel very easily. So he can easily manage the arrivals, departures, new booking and various data of the hotel. He can also see the today's operation, the occupancy, the length of stay, the statistics displaying the sales, revenue, order and net profit data, the availability, the performance of the hotel and the room types, and the room nights and sales accordingly on this dashboard. Now let's move further and explore the booking calendar tab. In the booking calendar tab, the seller will be able to monitor that how many rooms have been occupied, how many rooms have been available, how many bookings have been created. All the data is available in the booking calendar. This will help the seller to easily navigate and manage his property in the marketplace. Now comes the edit profile tab. In the edit profile tab, seller will be able to edit his details which he has entered when he has registered himself on the marketplace. Please note that all the details and changes which have been made by the seller will be approved by the admin and then will be displayed in the marketplace if the admin has set the option of approval for that particular detail. If the admin has set the option as auto approval for all the details which the seller is editing or creating or adding, in that case only the marketplace will directly change that particular detail when the seller will create and change. So now moving further, let's see the hotels tab. In the hotels tab, the seller will be able to view all the hotels which he has added in his marketplace. To add a new hotel, seller has to click on add hotel and then fill all the sections such as information, images, restrictions, features and refund policies. To edit already existing hotel, he has to click on edit option. The seller can see the status that whether his property is enabled or disabled by the admin or by himself by the status section in the list. Now comes the room type tab. In the room type tab, the seller can add and edit the room types he has created in the marketplace. To add a new room type, he will click on add room type and then he will be selecting and adding the details in the information section, images. He will be setting the price of the room type. He will be able to create the specific price and advance price as well. He will be adding the rooms, that is the inventory, the occupancy, the various features of that room type, the SEO, so that he can increase the ranking of his website. The additional facilities will be assigned from the additional facilities section in that particular room type. And this is how the seller can add a new room type. Now comes the order section. In the order section, the seller will be able to see his total earning, the admin commission, the admin tax, his particular amount received, his particular due amount which admin has to pay to the seller, and a list of all the orders which has been received for that particular seller for all the properties. To view a particular order, he has to click on view. He can see the customer details, the order summary, the room status. He can also update the status from the update status option. He can also update and add a new payment. He can also add new rooms in the order, that is, he can easily amend the orders and click on edit button to change the order and the additional facilities of the order. So this is how the seller can edit the existing orders as well from the order section of the marketplace. Now comes the payment mode tab. In the payment mode tab, the seller will add the mode of payment through which he wants to receive the amount from the seller. So all he has to do is click on add payment mode. So right now I've already added a payment mode. If I want to edit, I have to click on edit and then I have to select the payment mode available in the marketplace which are created by the admin, and then he has to add the account details, and once he'll save, all the details will be available for the admin to process the payment of his booking to the seller. Now comes the Additional Facilities tab. In the Additional Facilities tab, the seller will be able to add and edit the additional facilities he provides in his hotel with the room types. So to add a new additional facility, he will click on Add New Facility and enter the details of the additional facility. To edit the additional facility, he has to click on Edit Action and then he will be able to edit that additional facility. Please ensure that seller will also have an option of status in all the tabs: hotel, room types, order, payment mode, additional facility, as well as refunds, because this status tab will show that whether the admin has approved that particular change or not. Now comes the refund section, that is the refund tab. In the refunds tab, the seller will be able to manage the refund request which has been created by the client for that particular hotel, or he can also create refund rule by clicking on refund rule section and then clicking on Add New Refund Rule. Once he'll click on Add New Refund Rule, he has to fill in all the details of the new refund rule and then click on Save, and the refund rule will be created. Once it will be approved by the admin, this will be enabled on the marketplace for the guest to use it. So this is how the seller can manage the refund request as well as the refund rules for his marketplace hotels. This was all about the seller portal. I hope I was able to explain you all about the features and functionality of the seller marketplace. To use this module, you can purchase it from Webkul store and install it in QloApps. If you have any further queries, please connect with us at support@webkul.com, or you can even raise a ticket at webkul.ubdesk.com. So start using this module and convert your hotel website into a marketplace of hotels.